you do that? How did you do that?
There you go. And then we will see about getting you invited.
There we go.
So
there we go.
We got 2 dungeons today. You want to check out Moonhunter Keep or March of Sacrifices. Moonhunter Keep is the old headquarters of the Silver Dawn, taken over many eons ago by Vykosa, an ancient werewolf. And March of Sacrifices is the Daedric Plain of Hircine's hunting grounds.
I saw the one with the cat dog, so let's go to the hunting grounds.
Alrighty.
So he'll start jumping in. When he's ready, then we can jump to him. And in the meantime, I guess I can go over some of the new toys we got going.
Sure.
We have, in addition to the 2 dungeons, we have Respec 2.0. So instead of having to respec everything, you can now respec an individual skill or morph. We also have a number of PvP additions, Keep Recall Stones, Keep Contribution, Edge Keep bonuses, and then there's a new Battleground map. Isteris's Outpost, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
And one of the things we're trying out in that map is we're going to allow you to be mounted because it's a little bit larger.
It's also asymmetrical, so it's not quite laid out as you would normally see, but it's a pretty cool map.
Are you ever going to consider doing that for some houses, by the way? Like the island and stuff like that?
Allowing mounting?
Yeah.
That's more of a technical limitation, I think, because you can place your mounts in there.
True, yeah.
So I don't know that we would do that. But that doesn't mean that we would do something like some way essentially to increase your speed to get around the island faster or something like that.
Ah, cool.
Because that's ultimately the goal, is, or the feedback I guess right there is that, you know, I can't. This island's big and it takes me a while to run around it. So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Or player way shrines, so you can have teleports in your island.
We have definitely heard that feedback. There's lots of things we're considering. We'll see what we actually end up doing. In addition, there's 8 new item sets. Then there's since this is Wolfhunter, we've updated the werewolf skill line, basically to make it a little bit easier to play. Since it's always been more of an end game thing, we're hoping that we will make it a little more accessible to people. And then we've done some material sourcing changes to the jewelry crafting. That's pretty much it. We're now in here. How about we turn you over to Mr. Finnigan and he can kind of show off his cool new toys.
Do it, do it.
There you go. So, March of Sacrifices is a section of Hircine's hunting grounds, and what you're in here to do is every once in a while Hircine opens this up to his followers and people that get invited to perform a great hunt. And when you do that, you are rewarded with a boon from Hircine himself. So this is a great hunt. You always hunt what's called a hare, but that hare can take different forms. In this form, it's Tarsier, which is an Indrik. So if you remember from Somerset, the magical unicorn deer things, that's essentially what you're hunting in here. So you're going to see as you kind of come around this corner, first of all, the big thing you're going to see is Hircine. Part of what we wanted to sell here was you're in his... Yeah. You're in his Daedric Plain. This is Hircine owns this place. It's an extension of him. So he's going to look down on you and silently judge you. And not so silently judge you as he talks about you. But there's also other groups here. So you have this guy, Dagger and the Bulky, who's a Nord. He's leading a group of Nords in here to get the boon. There are these Wood Elves, which are now conversing with Baylorg. They're here to get the boon as well. And Baylorg was sent by Vykosa, which is the boss of the other dungeon, in order to get the boon for her.
Right.
But what you're here to do is help this lady. This is Hanu. Hanu is an Ashlander, and Ashlanders revere their ancestors. The problem is her dad died while he was a werewolf, so he goes into the hunting ground. So she hasn't been able to commune with him and talk to him and stuff. So she wants that connection back with her dad. So she thinks jumping into this great hunt, getting the boon from Hircine, and possibly freeing her dad from this kind of prison he's in the hunting grounds will allow her to commune with him and revere him further. So that's what you're here to do. You're here to help Hanu.
Okie dokie. I'll pick the quest up as well so we can see that.
Awesome. So yeah, now we go through the Bloodscent Pass. There's 3 distinct areas for the March of Sacrifices. There's Bloodscent Pass, the Wisp Wood, and the Nightlands. And what we wanted to sell aesthetically with this was very much that this is different than it's naturey. It's like Hircine is, but it's just a little bit different.
Gotcha.
So there's only one moon. If you look up in the sky after we kill these guys, if you look up in the sky, there's only one moon in the sky, and it's a blood moon. The plants are a little bit different. These red plants are unique that you don't see anywhere else in Tamriel. So let me see if I can get a shot of the moon over there. Oh, it looks like it's behind a cloud, but it's up in that general direction.
Okay.
All the little creatures that you could hunt, these storks, the critters and stuff that are around, they're ghostly. This is because Hircine likes, for his followers, he likes them to be able to come here and hunt to their heart's content, and but he isn't populated with a bunch of worthless creatures. So,
I know there's a lot of... Sorry, go ahead. Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know the furniture guys out there and the houses and everyone are going to be having the same question. Can you, or will you in the future be able to get these for your house?
The plants?
Yeah.
Possibly. We always eye... anytime we make a new thing, essentially, we always want to... we eye it with the idea that, hey, especially when it comes to player feedback, if players react to something and they say, "Oh, this is really cool and this is really something we want to do," it's usually pretty easy for us to move it over to a housing item.
Gotcha.
And yeah, these plants in particular are really, really cool. Actually, when you get to the Wisp Wood and the Nightlands, the plants are like bluish and stuff like that. So that's another aspect that you'll see when we get to it. It's really, really cool.
Okay.
So this is you see one of the wood elves from the hunting party up here. They died. So if you die in the hunting lands, you can really die, and that's because Hircine doesn't do anything half-assed.
Okay. Really dead.
Yeah. Die in real life.
Gotcha. So it's like the Matrix.
Yeah.
You can go
like
inside, but if you die in there, you're dead real.
You die in real life. Yeah, exactly. So, you saw the green aura around the bears. That is to telegraph a future boss mechanic. What that aura does is it buffs friends. So when we get to the next boss, you'll kind of see those auras all over the bosses. So you'll want to keep the bosses separated. It doesn't. We like to do that so that you see a boss mechanic and you know what it does before you get to it, and it really matters essentially.
Okay.
Because. And I know that you've played enough dungeons to realize that we do that.
Yeah, you kind of drop breadcrumbs along the way.
Yeah. So this is the first boss. This is the Weird Sisters. Weird spelled W-Y-R-D.
Yep.
If you remember in Glenumbra, there was a quest line that dealt with these ladies. They're followers of Hircine. They're also called the Weirists. This is where they go when they die. They come here. So Hircine has used them as like speed bumps for the hunters, because you're hunting the hare. You're going after, trying to complete the great hunt, but he's not going to make it easy for you. So these guys are here as like a speed bump and a roadblock for you. Each one of them has a different aura. So the Ursus has that buffing aura that will buff friends, her other 2 sisters. The Rangifer has another aura, which will help her allies, and then the Strigidae in the back has a silencing aura, so you won't be able to use magic abilities right next to her.
Okay, so like a negate bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it also affects resurrection, so if somebody dies, you can't actually resurrect if you're covered by them. Yeah. So I'm going to tank the Ursus, and you guys handle the other 2. The Rangifer will also do a channeled heal, which needs to be interrupted.
Okay.
Just kind of pay attention to that. That's usually the one people go for first, is the Rangerfur, to get the heal out of the way. Now, when they die, their spirit animal will spawn and then just kind of run around in a random pattern,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll have that aura around it, but you can't eliminate it, so you just have to pay attention to where they'll.
Okay.
Also, don't run into the water or they will reset, because they don't like cheaters.
Yes, good. Get rid of the cheese.
The Ursus will also randomly charge a person periodically, so it's you just got to kind of eat it.
So that's the how do I pronounce this one? Begins with
Strigidae?
ST. Strigidae, that one.
Yeah.
So this isn't too bad for a stamina to kind of go in and get there, but
Right.
for a Magicka,
Right.
you're stuffed.
Yep. If you don't want to, if you want to get in close, the Magicka is not where it needs to go. So there you go. See that one? Just run it in charge. Looks like that Rangerfur's almost dead. Working on the Strigidae.
Yep.
The Strigidae will also teleport around.
Yeah,
So,
he moved a little bit.
Yep.
Got a nasty interruptible as well.
Mm-hmm. That's keeping everybody honest.
Oh, I see the spirit animal, the little Bambi there.
Yeah.
Oh, nasty bash. Is that random?
Yes, the target that it's going to target for its random charge attack is random.
Okay, so it's not based on distance?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right. Well, it will choose somebody that's further away than like the tank. But I've done stuff where I've like dodge rolled her bash attack, and then because I'm out of a certain range, I can be chosen as a target for it. But if you're in melee range ever, you can't.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this is Hanu, and this is her father, Theris. Now, this is where she gets to talk to him and say, "Daddy, Daddy, you're trapped in the hunting grounds." He's like, "I know." So he's basically telling her that, you know, this was a mistake. You shouldn't have come here. Hircine's gonna kill you, and he can't resist the call, and he's gonna disappear.
Okay.
So we're still in the Blood Scent Pass right now, and we're coming up on the part where, for Hircine's followers, he likes to make them kind of feel at home. So he will put these things, as we come up on this, these hunting lodges, as people get used to them. So, because that's what people, if you come in here to hunt, you can do this. Now, this is another cool mechanic here. You see these little Spriggans that have this aura around them, and then the Lurchers have a specific color and a different name. So this is a Blaze Lurcher, which means it is tied to the season of summer.
Right.
So each Lurcher and Spriggan is tied to a different season. And if you drag the Lurcher into the opposite season's Spriggan, then it's debuffed. I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to pull this Autumn one, which is, it's called an Autumn Lurcher, and then there's a Budding one. So if you see the Autumn Lurcher's health,
yeah.
And then if I drag him into this green aura, which is Spring, his health drops way down.
Oh, yeah, it's like a pulsar.
Yeah. And then, I drag the Budding Lurcher into the Autumn aura, and his health drops way down. And we do that because in the next boss fight, these Lurchers are going to spawn, and you have the different Spriggans around. So in order to kill, in the next boss fight, the Lurchers will drop a seed, which allows you to be protected. And in order to ensure that people can get those Lurchers down in time, the idea is that you drag them to the opposite and debuff their health. Then you can kill it, everybody can get the seed.
Gotcha. Is that the same debuff as Pulsar? Is it Major Mangle or something? Is it not the same one? So would they stack?
Yes.
Awesome. You got a frost one there.
Yep. So that would be the winter one.
Yeah.
Another thing that's cool about those hunting lodges, that's the start of what we were able to do in March of Sacrifices. Is a really cool. It's a side part. We don't telegraph. We don't tell you about it, but it's a side quest. It's not really a quest. It's a side piece of content that you're able to do. There's 3 golden Indrik hunts hidden hidden in the March of Sacrifices. And if you explore the March of Sacrifices and you find all of these golden Indrik hunts and you complete them, first of all, they give you a buff that persists through the rest of the dungeon. So if you do each one of them, you'll get a different buff each time. One of them is damage, I think one of them is healing, one of them is aids you in stealth. And then if you complete all 3 hunts, you also get a unique cosmetic collectible, which allows you to perform this really cool hulking werewolf transformation. And then you transform
no
back.
way!
Yeah, and it's
Juffy.
completely.
We called him Juffy.
Yeah, and it's not related to DPS. There's no DPS check or anything like that. There's no you have to be a hardcore in order to do this kind of thing. It was actually really designed for the people that like to explore and go off and find all the nooks and crannies in this area and stuff. So it's a pretty cool element that we were able to add for this dungeon. It's the first time we've kind of done that side content that we're not telegraphing, we're not telling you about, but it's something you can kind of find and discover.
Oh, that's awesome. There's been so many people wondering, can we ever change into that or whatever in any way, shape, or form? That's nuts.
You don't get to run around as the hulking werewolf. What it does is it transforms you, and then it transforms back. But it's a cool visual, and you do that you get the big hands and stuff. So this
At least you can do it.
Yeah, this is Aggie of the Solstice.
Mm-hmm.
Or Agaday of the Solstice. This is where we're going to have that lurcher mechanic come in. You see these little spriggans around here?
Yeah.
They're each going to have a season. I'll drag the lurcher into the correct season so that we can debuff it. And when you see a synergy for protection of either autumn, winter, or whatever, go ahead and grab that, because when she does a big explosion, if you're not protected, you're going to take... In normal, you would take a lot of damage. In veteran, you take all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there's going to be little stranglers that appear around the outside of this arena in the water, and those guys are going to debuff. They're going to snare you and stuff like that, so you'll want to be protected from those too.
Okay.
Or you want to kill those. All right, let's do this.
Oh, they do snare a lot, don't they?
Huh?
The snare's quite powerful.
Yes, it is. So that one, you'll see he dropped the use Autumn's protection.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you will take damage from her big explosion if you have protection. But if you have the protection and you stand in the correct friggin' aura, so like I have winter protection. If I also stand in this friggin' aura for winter, I will be protected even more.
Okay.
Looks like you haven't gotten the synergy yet.
No, I can't see the synergy. Oh,
Yeah,
there was
there's
one.
a
There
green
it
ring
is.
right here.
Yeah.
Quick.
It popped up there. Oi!
I did not get the synergy.
There
I
you
was
go.
too busy showing you.
I saw the lights and everything pop up. I picked up something. I think I got it.
Yeah, you
So
did.
I didn't
Otherwise,
die.
you would have taken a lot of damage. Yeah.
It's like, crap, I should probably be ready for this.
Oh, there you go. It's a really obvious one, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
quite easy to see from a distance.
Yeah. Aggie is dead. So let's proceed. And now we're going to go into the Wisp Wood. So this is where you're going to get a kind of environmental shift into something. This is also where Theros gives you this wisp to help out.
Okay.
So this wisp is going to lead us to Tarsier. He's going to help her out. And now you see, like I said, the environment changes a little bit. There's
Yeah, the whole
different
mood has shifted.
Yeah. Some cool aspects to these trees. You see the fog coming in through the trees and stuff like that. There's lights in these.
Oh, it looks awesome. Sea lurcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you want to block.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool
That
effect.
was good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite new ones.
Yep. That's a really cool new effect that we have.
That was water.
Yep.
Lots of it.
Yeah. Well, because he's a sea lurcher.
Yeah, we haven't seen any water damage.
Yeah.
Hello. Very nice. I keep looting stuff. I've got to stop looting. I'm on PTS.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
I do it too.
you run it. What I run into is because we do these kind of a lot and stuff, and then I go on live and play, and then I forget to loot.
Ah, no.
I went through like 3/4 of the dungeon. Oh, I completely forgot to loot anything.
Well, even on PTS, I got full bags, so.
Yeah.
So are any of these ads particularly dangerous, or are they general trash?
There's some big heavy hitters that do a block. Well, it's not so bad in normal.
Mm-hmm.
The lurchers are obviously the big target that you really want to take out. So and somebody else died. So, all right. So now we're coming up on Dagger and the Bulky. If you remember at the beginning, Dagger and the Bulky was the guy who was leading the Nords.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Nords have tracked down. Let me go ahead and walk in. The Nords have tracked down Tarsier.
Oh, it's misty.
But this is where you get to see Tarsier's power. So Tarsier is grabbing them and then dropping them from the sky where they die. So you see them running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And, So now Tarsier, if you look up on that rock, Tarsier is up there. And, it has reanimated Dagger and the Bulky as its puppet. So.
I've seen that mechanic before.
Yeah, you probably have. That one you haven't. In Veteran, that jump mechanic also puts an AoE that follows every single person around that you have to dodge, roll, and block.
Okay.
In Veteran, it's not so bad. There's going to be archers that pop up as well.
Okay.
So you'll see. Yep, here they are.
That jump was used in Hrothgar with some of the trash mobs, and also it was on, or similar, it was on Mazatun as well, the first boss.
Yes.
And I've said for ages that we need it on ourselves. We want that. it's Superman mechanic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the ice base. He uses all three elements. He uses that we use in our game, not.
Okay.
He uses fire, ice, and electricity. I don't know that we're going to see electricity because we just do so much damage.
I'll stop hitting.
But electricity is the healing phase, where everybody gets hit by bolts of lightning, and we have to rely on Jeremy to heal us.
So maybe we don't want to hit that phase.
There it is.
Whoa.
We're there now.
Oh, it's like a really, really, really nasty overcharger.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kill them now. Yep. Those are basically the three phases of that.
Okay. There's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. So now we get to follow. Here's Hanu is going to have a discussion with Baylorg. Baylorg is the guy sent by Vykosa. He's kind of a bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's taunting you. He says, "Hey, you want to team up? You guys are doing pretty good." And then she's like, "Nah, you're just gonna cheat." He's like, "Whatever." So now we get to follow this Wisp through the rest of the Wisp Wood.
Okay.
We're gonna get some even more different enemies here. We have sea adders, giant sea adders.
These were quite nasty in Somerset, actually.
Yeah.
I'm still looting. Stop it. Way to annoy the tank. Go werewolf and make everything get feared.
Not at all. I love it.
There goes your CC.
I've been in dungeons before where I've seen the tank go werewolf.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Like,
so many times, and on live stream not long ago, we had a healer go werewolf during a really stressful situation on Celine's when the tank was already dead. It's like, oh no.
Not how that works.
He wanted to get stuck in.
He did. Because that's where you want the healer.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Jeremy? Block.
How hard is that hit on vet?
Pretty hard if you don't block it. It'll kill you.
Nice.
So now we come to Tarsier. This is where we. This is one of the fights where we wanted to sell the hunt and hunting nature of this fight. So in this, you're the hunter. So what this is periodically during the fight, and you're going to see at the beginning, it's like an introduction to the fight. Periodically during the fight, actually, it's not going to work for werewolves, so I wouldn't be a werewolf right now.
Okay.
But that should be interesting. Come inside. Everybody come inside before the gates. All right. So what it is you're going to have to stealth during this. You're going to have this Wisp she's going to put this Wisp down for us. And you use a synergy, and the Wisp is trying to locate Tarsier, which is the Indrik.
Gotcha.
It's somewhere in this arena. Now, periodically during the fight, this entire thing is going to happen again. Tarsier is going to disappear, and you're going to need a Wisp is going to appear, and you're going to need to use it to find Tarsier. Now, when this happens after Tarsier disappears, ghostly Indriks are going to appear around, and if they hit you, then they teleport you into the sky and they drop you.
Oh, nice.
And in Veteran, it drops you from increasingly higher and higher locations until you die from it.
Okay.
But in Normal, it does not quite do it. So here's Tarsier.
Found you.
Yep. She does teleport around.
Like the one in Somerset, the boss.
Yep.
Interrupt. Go on,
Now
Jeff.
it's disappear, so stealth. You're going to stealth. Yeah, otherwise, if you're not hidden when this happens. Now you see there's the Wisp that's around here. And then you see the ghostly Indriks that are also going around the screen. And if they hit you, you get teleported into the sky. Yeah. So in the second time that this happens, there's also, you can't stand in one place because the ice thing you're going to hit. Look at that.
Brilliant.
Ice is going to form underneath you, and you're going to have to keep moving in order to avoid it.
Okay. So you got to move fairly fast when you're in stealth as well.
Yeah. This is weirdly like vampires have.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It's a werewolf hunting ground, but vampire would benefit.
Yeah. I think we put in something to help werewolves in this case, but yeah, werewolves won't be able to stealth. So
yeah.
She disappeared again. So stealth. So now you see. Now you see.
Appeared on me.
Oh. Now you see ice start to form underneath you.
Yeah. I had one of those ghosts appear right under my feet.
Yeah.
So this ice is random. It doesn't like follow you as such. I'm going in the air.
What it does is it starts to appear underneath you, and then it gives you time to walk out. So
gotcha.
That's the goal. Is you have a way to get out. Now in the next version of this, when she does it again, it's going to be essentially the same as we just saw. But in Veteran, it also adds these fiery whirlwinds and stuff like that are around there too. So it's even more stuff to avoid in Veteran.
What's that nasty AoE? You're following the elements from the previous fight as well.
Yep. Because that's how Dagrin got that elemental power.
Yeah.
Was
Who?
He got it from.
Oh, crap.
That zap is very similar to Zamaja.
Yep. Yes, exactly, and it serves essentially the same purpose. Now we get stealth again.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We have a time limit. It counts down.
Yes, you do. Yep.
It's very easy to get distracted by the fight and then forget to stealth.
Yep. And there's a thing that pops up on your screen that says, Tarsier is starting to hunt or something like that. So, or it's time to hunt Tarsier, and then you have that 3, 2, 1 countdown as well. So that we try to smack you over the head with you need to stealth.
This is very similar to... It's not the same mechanics, of course, but it's very similar to the Dragon Bones Fang Lair fight, where the ghosts appear very, very fast, and you basically have to keep spinning your camera to see where they're coming from, otherwise you're stuffed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to get caught by those.
Yeah. So that's it. We're gonna blast her now.
So is it strictly 3 phases?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always 3?
Yep.
No more, no less. No,
Rule of 3.
So now that we've defeated Tarsier, and its heart is sitting there, Hanu can grab the heart, and she just has to go turn it into Hircine, and then all's good, and everything's wonderful. Let's go follow her and see what happens. Let's go, Hanu.
It didn't say quest complete.
Come on, it's a win, clearly.
Clearly. Uh-oh, Baylorg's up there. Now, Baylorg is the one that was talking. She was worried. Oh, and that's what it is. He grabs her, steals the heart, and then kills her.
Gutted.
So she is now here. She's dead. Thuras is going to show up, her father, and lament her loss.
No.
But now we get to go track down Baylorg.
Okay.
And defeat him. Now we're gonna fight monsters that are in the armors and stuff of Moonhunter Keep, because all of these are the people that came with Baylorg to help him win the hunt.
Gotcha.
So you're essentially fighting the Moonhunter Keep monsters.
So plenty of wolves.
Yep, wolves, werewolves, and really, wolves are just werewolves with less wear and tear.
Yeah.
You really should not laugh at those jokes.
You just encourage him, man.
Because they encourage me. Yeah.
I'm just gonna force him to keep screaming "choo choo" in people's faces.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, Jeff, by the way, Jeff is a Daedroth, if you've watched the live streams. The reason he is on is because we did an all-werewolf trial on live stream not long ago.
Awesome.
So we tried to get a tank, a healer, 10 werewolves, and as many people wearing the Jeff set as possible. So we had millions of Daedroths and millions of wolves. It's not officially part of any build.
It's officially
funny,
part
though.
of that build.
It's funny as hell.
That's a lot of it's a lot of stuff on screen.
It's a lot of pets.
Yeah. So now we're coming up on the final boss fight here, and this is Baylorg. We get to defeat him now. I'll let you go in first.
Oh, thanks.
John will go in first. So this is where you get to see the transformation of Baylorg into the hulking werewolf. This is the new monster we were able to get for this dungeon. So he's just cool. You saw some of them in Moonhunter Keep, but this guy has the unique tattoos and the woad signs on him and stuff. So this is another aspect of the hunt. Instead of you hunting him, you are going to become the hunted. So at various points in this fight, he's going to howl and fear you, and then your entire screen will become cloudy, and he will choose one target to hunt. You'll get like a little bullseye telegraph underneath you if you're chosen as the target. You need to look off in the fog because Thuras is going to drop a magical trap. And you need to look off for the blue glow in the fog and lead Baylorg to that blue fog, or to that blue trap. And then once he gets trapped, it ends that fog mechanic.
Okay.
He also will pound the ground and either electrify the water, a lot like Arxcrinium, or he will spawn plants on the island which will poison, a lot like Maelstrom.
Round 7.
Yes, except it's not random. You could tell, like when he starts to smash the ground, it'll be like poison. You're like, okay, get off the island. So I'll call out, like, okay, we need to get in the water. We need to get on the island.
Are they mushrooms or plants?
They're plants. They actually are the same plants. They look the same. So I don't understand how anybody could look at those and think they're a mushroom.
You say they're still not mushrooms?
To hell what Rich says, they're plants. All right,
Get
this
out of
poison.
that.
No, stay in the water, because those are plants. See?
Ice feared.
And now he's feared us, so now he's going to choose. It's me. He's choosing. Where's the blue?
So we can't see the thing that you have to find.
You can see it off in the fog. See?
Okay.
He also has a target on him to make it
Yeah.
clear that he's the target.
Oh, we're in the water. Get out of the water.
Whoa,
Hey.
charge as well.
Yeah. He does. This is the one you need to avoid. That big fire AoE will really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm. How much damage does the fire AoE do? Like
It will kill
percentage of
probably
your
a
health?
DPS. Get off the island.
What about if you miss form?
Well, then you'll probably negate it. It doesn't go through mitigation.
Okay.
Oh man, we really tore him up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's nearly dead. I'm gonna stop hitting him.
Oh, I think it's me. So I'm trucking over to the trap.
Oh, I see it under your feet.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
little bullseye telegraph is underneath. Get off the water.
Oh, he's mental.
Yeah. In veteran, this is you noticed there's these wolves up, but in that only happens towards the end of the fight in normal.
Mm-hmm.
In veteran, every time he does a hunt phase, those wolves spawn as well. So you have those wolves that are kind of snaring you, and you have to deal with him. And in hard mode, those little stranglers that spawn and snare you, those are also pop up in the water. So there's a lot of stuff to keep track of.
There was an odd number of wolves that. So how many actually spawn at each phase, or is it random?
In normal, it's not random, but in normal he only spawns wolves when he gets low health.
Okay.
But in veteran, every time he does that hunt phase where he fears you and then the cloud up, he spawns a number of wolves. I'd have to look up exactly how many it is. It's a lot though.
Okay.
Upwards of like 6-7 wolves or something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna imagine they have quite high health on vet as well.
They're not too bad. They're designed to be kind of like this, like roguelike. It's something else you have to pay attention to. So at the end of the quest here, you have Hanu talking to Tharas, her father, and you get to go and complete the quest. And then after that, you have this. You can talk to Hanu, and you can decide to use the boon to either save her or her father. But you can't save them because Hircine is not that benevolent. You can only get to save one of them.
Is there an achievement for each one?
No.
Okay.
This is strictly what we would call flavor or fluff. You get to make that choice and live with it.
Okay, because I normally take the evil side of it.
Okay, that would be. There's no real evil side here. I just think that would be
the selfish one.
I usually I usually save Hanu, in which case the Ross saves you, but Hanu would really you could talk to the other person after you save one of them.
Okay.
And they'll tell you what they think of you.
So I'll save him because it's what she came here to do. That's not me, but we'll do it.
Yeah, that's nice of you. I usually save Hanu just because she's got a lot longer life to live.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look, man, don't question his decisions. He's gonna have to live with it either way.
I'll sleep well. Don't worry.
Jeremy likes that you saved the old guy.
I'll bet you she's not happy.
Now she gets to stay here.
Yeah.
So
that is March of Sacrifices.
Awesome.
I give you a brief synopsis of the other dungeon. I think you said you've already seen it, but it's basically Vycosa, who was one of the first werewolves turned by Hircine, is striking out to make her own army. And in order to do that, she took over a keep from the Order of the Silver Dawn, which are werewolf hunters. And now she's kidnapping and abducting people from all over Tamriel and forcibly infecting them with lycanthropy. So you invade through the prison structure to kind of liberate people and then go all the way up to the top of Moonhunter Keep and face off against Vycosa.
She's Khajiit too, isn't she?
She is a cat dog, yes.
Which is hilarious.
Yes.
She does look quite funny.
It is a very unique look for her, yes.
I did see that fight at the end, but I also saw I saw someone else playing it the other day actually, the hard mode of it, and that is busy.
That's nuts, right? Yeah,
that's
that one and this one are both and that's kind of like where we were going for with the difficulty for these. We think we struck a pretty good balance with Dragon Bones. So, so that's kind of the goal, what we were going for with these two, where you can kind of get through. Most people can get through normal without too much trouble. Veteran will challenge you a little bit. If you're familiar with the game, or veteran dungeons in general, you're gonna be able to get through them. But if you really, really want to challenge, it's gonna be hard.
So are they kind of like the hard modes of them? Is it still? I mean, I know on Fanglair you can get away with like a tank and 3 DPS and stuff like that if you're experienced enough. But are they still trying to push that whole bring several roles to kind of support each other?
Yeah,
because that was
we definitely
well
what we usually try to do is 1 tank, 2 DPS, and a healer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and that's generally the goal. And it really. It's kind of at the mercy of other aspects of the game, whereas if a class can hybrid themselves to DPS and heal and do both of those kind of moderately well, then they're probably going to get through veteran stuff.
Sure.
But for hard mode, we kind of really want that extra heal to be there.
You're going to get hit hard, so you want some big heals, like some dedicated heals.
Yep.
That makes sense. I quite like that as well, because then we can actually see other roles being used more often. Because the general vet dungeons, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them per se, but obviously, since they've been in the game for so long, people have got good at them. And a lot of them don't really require healers in some situations, depending on your group.
Exactly.
But these, with mechanic-heavy bosses, much, much more challenging. It's really, really nice to see specific healers and specific tanks being put in their role
and it's something
properly.
And it's something we actively look at. I mean, when we go into this to say, part of this is our process is, well, what's the tank doing here? What's the healer doing? How's the healer challenge? And when we go through this testing stuff, we focus on the different classes that we have in here. So if we see a healer and we say, okay, after they're done with the fight, we sit down with each of them and say, okay, well, healer, what were you doing in here? What was this? Did you feel challenged? Did you feel like this was something that you needed to be here in it? And if the healer is generally like, it's just kind of DPSing the whole time, I didn't really have anything to heal and stuff, then we take a look and say, okay, well, let's see how we can challenge the healers.
Well, I like that about the bosses as well, because some of the major bosses, especially Falkreath, if you didn't mess around with that one, some of the mechanics are like, if you block the heavy attack as a tank, well done, you did what you're supposed to do. Yeah. But if you're unlucky enough to be a DPS, it doesn't matter if you block, you're dead.
Yeah, and that's actually the way this is going to work in Veteran too for a lot of these mechanics. Is if you're not the tank, we call them tank blockables. When we do them in dungeons, because we're like, this is the tank blockable, and it's like, well, if you're DPS and you block it, you're wrecked. You're not. It doesn't matter. You might as well not even block it, because if that boss hits you.
I like that.
And that's to enforce kind of like, if the tank dies, you're gonna have a tough time. You can't get through the blocks.
I mean, there's something you can dodge. I know you can dodge them, but then that adds a little bit of an extra spin to it, because you have to be really, really aware of it to get away with it. That's kind of your only safety area if your tank is dead, and then you've got to be quick.
Exactly.
No, that's pretty cool. I like that. He's mental though. That boss is disgusting. I really like the big werewolf. There was a thing on the stream, because obviously we have Jeff, which is the Daedroth. He's like a big chunky Daedroth, except in a werewolf form. So we've called him a Juffy instead of a Jeff. Don't ask, it's sticking though.
The hulking werewolf is. It was pretty cool to see that kind of develop and how we were able to get it and stuff like that. We're pretty happy with it.
No, that's really, really cool. In terms of the werewolf, as in the skill line itself, I mean, what I've seen of it, I'm really, really pleased with, because obviously we can stay werewolf for longer by doing damage rather than taking it, which makes a lot more sense. The uptime of it, especially when you've got multiple werewolves, is absolutely brilliant. So it's now, in my opinion, much more viable in PvE situations. I know they take more damage from poison, but then they got 10k resist anyway, so that's not so bad. But have you, I know not necessarily now, unless you must have had questions about it, have you had questions about tanks as werewolves? Because they can't hold any aggro or anything like that, which I know they're not necessarily supposed to, but you see so many tanks going werewolf, you're like, damn it, what can we do?
So we do get that question a lot about tanking and werewolves, and I think that this gets down to a design kind of philosophy and goal for the werewolf. And pretty much in Elder Scrolls and in our game in particular with the werewolf, we really want to reinforce the gameplay of, you're this savage beat stick. You go werewolf, and then you jump in throw caution to the wind with abandon and just start wrecking things and destroying it and hitting it hard and ferociousness and savageness. And that doesn't really lend to the calculated gameplay of a tank.
Right.
So that's why we haven't really built in anything into the gameplay aspects for werewolves, so that they could be a tank, because it doesn't really fit the kind of the mythos and the idea that we're going for with a werewolf. So I'm sure that we've already gotten some feedback, of course, that from tanks are like, oh, I want to be a werewolf tank. I know we're not going that way now, but I mean, anybody can feel free to provide that feedback as well. But yeah, there's no plans for that right now, just because the goal that we want for a werewolf is kind of like, and it was really weird, because it before, when you would extend your werewolf by taking damage, it was counter to that idea that we had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was counter to it's like, well, I have to take damage, but I can't taunt, and it doesn't lend to the ferocity that we have. So now if you have the ferocity and you do damage and extends everything, so
That makes sense.
We're hitting a better note on that for sure.
Yeah, because if you see, like, you have higher resists and you take damage to stay werewolf, that sounded like it was kind of, you're meant to be tough rather than meant to dish out.
Right.
Whereas now it kind of makes a little bit more sense, where you've got that resist bonus just because you're going to be in the thick of it and you need to kind of take less.
Exactly.
But the pounce ability, I considered that it would count as a charge, but it doesn't. So the only one way you would have ever got away with it is if you put on the Tormentor set and jump and taunt.
Yeah.
But I was gutted because it didn't work. So I was like, we can make a werewolf tank. No, we can't.
No, yeah.
But I guess you can still use the passive for when your shield is down. You could take the 15% recovery.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, combat-wise for the werewolf so far, it's really, really nice. I'm really happy that you've got synergies now, because that also makes a lot of sense. Resin was a problem, and synergies, especially the frenzied, the feeding one, where or what the hell was it called? I've forgotten.
Yeah,
it's like the frenzied attack type thing. Blood frenzy,
yeah.
Because you could make other people have stronger light attacks, but other werewolves couldn't take it.
Right.
Now that's in, that makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yep.
I think your first week on PTS it was a little tricky to get it, but now it seems to be working really, really well. It's really nice.
It's
especially
also
since you
we
boosted
had
them
some.
as well.
Yeah, the first week of PTS we also had some sets that were probably overperforming for werewolf.
A little bit.
I think
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We toned those down a little bit too, but I think that weirdly how all this came together. We had Wolfhunter. We had designed for the 2 dungeons, and then gameplay at the same time was working on the updates to the werewolf, and the way the sets came about and stuff. It was just weirdly this confluence of like this entire werewolf DLC has just really, really worked pretty well for us in theme and stuff. So,
well, I'm sure it was planned, but even if it wasn't, the changes to werewolf and the werewolf theme at the same time did obviously fall into place very, very well.
Yep.
But I'm happy with it. I really like the werewolf combat. You're going to see a lot of werewolves. A lot of strange ones as well.
That's good.
And the light attack buff did make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which of course it should.
For sure.
Especially since you're limited to 1 bar anyway.
Yeah. So that's it for the dungeon. Do you have any other questions or anything?
About the DLC or the game?
Either.
Have you got a mammoth mount for me yet?
If you can mount the one in Falkreath.
I've tried. He sent me to Gratwood. Do you have, or can you say any info on Murkmire? Even a teaser.
So they're going to be talking about it this weekend at QuakeCon. And we're going to have more info for you at Gamescom and PAX West. So that's about the extent of what we have. I know they're going to talk about it this weekend at QuakeCon, and 2 weeks after that at Gamescom. Are you going to Gamescom?
Unfortunately not, but maybe in the future.
Yeah,
not this one.
You should have. Like, we're having a tavern event.
Yeah, I've got a lot planned for exactly the same date. So I'm doing a charity stream with Tech and Junk actually.
Oh, nice.
At the same sort of time. So that would be cool.
Awesome.
Have I got any more questions? I have hundreds of questions, but I'm not going to go through them all. But just for the sake of the video, of course, if anyone is watching, release dates for PC and console, for anyone that hasn't checked on the website, have you got accurate dates for them? this.
The release date for this for PC is tomorrow.
Correct.
Or I'm sorry, Monday.
Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Monday. Yeah, the 13th.
13th on Monday.
And then the 28th for consoles.
28th on console, 13th for PC. Perfect. And obviously the 13th is the final kind of this is what you're getting from the patch type thing. So we've still got a few days left on PTS.
You still have days on PTS, yes.
Excellent.
But yeah, Monday is it hits the wild.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
Well, I don't think I have any more questions that would be relevant
All right.
to the DLC, because otherwise I would be here all day and you would get really bored answering the same
Yeah,
questions
no
over and
problem.
over. Yeah, thank you very, very much for this opportunity. It was awesome. I really
Yeah.
like the new dungeons. They're very, very cool, and I'm really happy with the werewolf as well. So
Awesome.
I'm going to try and break it a little bit afterwards.
All right, man. Yeah, I
Don't be
figured.
disappointed if I do.
All right,
guys. Well,
man.
thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
Our pleasure.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.